We find ourselves at the home of the world's first retractable natural grass field as you get a look inside State Farm Stadium in Glendale. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Dallas Cowboys and the Arizona Cardinals. The first game's out of the way. Time to buckle down for the long season ahead, and we're off in week 2.
And that drives coaches insane. Doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Is the mic. Watch out.
On 1st and 10, Prescott. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Lamb. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 23 yards on the play.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him 15 there, and the Cowboys have a first. Well, no slow start here. A couple nice chunk plays back-to-back.
I love the momentum that they're showing here early because they did it both ways, right? Threw the ball on 1st down for a nice chunk of yardage. Came right back and ran the ball. Looks like they got the defense set back on their heels. Let's see if they can keep this moving.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. This running game so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
2nd and 5 now. Prescott. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. Cooper was the target there, but now it's 3rd down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking him
nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, it's about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. And Zerline's kick is good. And the Cowboys are going to jump out to a 3-0 lead. So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating 1st downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points.
Ready. Hey, keep it up.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And an alley to run. Well, you're already down on the scoreboard, and now, Charles, you go out there, very first play, throw the interception. That defense, they're going to have to bow up.
Yeah, and let's see how they handle this, because we always talk about reverting back to what you practice. Well, you practice these situations.
That is caught. It's Cooper for the Cowboy touchdown. Amari Cooper, his second touchdown on the season. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. Oh, this is blocked. But he doesn't get far. They're able to stop him. And after all that, the extra point attempt unsuccessful.
Well, there's a blocked extra point. I remember playing, and we had one of those go against us. I remember our kicker and our holder told the head coach, just relax, coach. Why are you yelling? Don't worry, it's just 1 point. Oh, my. Those coaches see a point is gold to them because you never know how it's going to turn out later.
Exactly. That's why I was just going to say first quarter. We'll see if this has any implications as the game goes on.
I still can't believe they told the head coach to relax. Whoa.
Bad move. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs or putting together a team,
a fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Buda Baker with a pick. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
But to me, it's pretty simple, and it's fairly obvious, isn't it? He's got to start making better decisions with the ball.
That's now 2 interceptions in the first quarter. After interception number 1, there was a long talk on the sideline, and now he's made another mistake.
Yeah, he's just been kind of laying these passes out there. He's kind of been floating them a little bit. He's got to be more decisive in his reads and definitely more decisive in throwing the ball. Rifle it in there every now and then.
A big run there, 29 yards and a first. He had his eyes on the end zone once he hit the secondary, but they're finally able to slow him down.
Yeah, and I've got to look at this one from the defensive point of view. You just mentioned finally able to slow him down. They've got to figure out a way to make that at the point of attack, at the line of scrimmage, because once he gets through, he's shredding them.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Amari Cooper, his intended receiver, but now it's 3rd and goal. 2 incompletions haven't moved him any closer, and likely throwing again, you'd have to think on 3rd and goal here. Flush to his right. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. From 6 yards away. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. Zerline now for the PAT. And he atones for his miss the first time around, as this one is up and good to extend their lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. He'll have a first down past the 40 and all the way up to the 45-yard line. It'll be an Arizona first down on a gain of 17.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter. And a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
Second and 12. At the 48 yard line. I'm coming for you, man. Get it.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls, and you've had that kind of lack of success.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well could have been a third interception in half number 1. Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Taken in at the 22. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Meanwhile, taking a look at what's going on in KC. And the Chiefs have jumped out to an early lead in their ball game. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. Escapes the sack. He's got a man complete. It's Amari Cooper. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
First down, Cowboys.
So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
36. That's the end of the first quarter with the score Cowboys 16, Cardinals nothing. Here we go. 49's the mic. We ain't giving up nothing today. 26.
Here's Elliott. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 11 yards and a Cowboy first down. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Prescott now. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. 3 touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3 and out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
I smell fear in that. Hey, Echo. I smell fear in that offense. Mark 55.
They're going to look to throw. He finds Humphreys. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. His first catch, good for 8 and a first down.
First and 10 at the 33-yard line.
Let's go now. 60 Pittsburgh.
You gonna see me in your nightmares, son. You gonna see me in your nightmares.
On first down, Dobbins, not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here we go.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. He'll drop to throw. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. So that's now 3 first-half interceptions, and that last one even costlier as it's returned for 6 points. So as a quarterback, how do you regain your focus?
Well, QB 101 says you never show them that you're sweating. Still act like you're the guy, that you've thrown 6 touchdown passes, not 3 interceptions. But he's human. He's got to face up to his teammates. He's got to own up to that. See if he can brace up and also not look over his shoulder and see his backup starting to warm up. It's going to be a tough one for him.
Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it. We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. He's got daylight. 20, 10, touchdown, Cardinals. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, you know, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
The Cowboys take over first and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
19 yards there on the catch and run.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the...
Jordan Reed. And he's going to get this deep onto Arizona's side of the field. A big play there on the catch and run. 57 yards. And what can they do here on 2nd and goal? 3 red zone trips so far have yielded 2 touchdowns and a field goal. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. A loss of 2 there. 2nd down. On 2nd and goal. Prescott. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Snags it for the pick. Intended that time for Cooper.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
They'll run on 1st down. Dobbins had an anxious moment or 2 there, but they do get him down. 12 yards to pick up. Good enough for an Arizona 1st. From the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's not going to go anywhere as they get him down behind the line of scrimmage. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and lead. To 2nd down. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for... One more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
Ready? 8, read. Hey, Haywood.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. Going up top. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with a foot. Football here, nearly a 4th pick. And it's 3rd down.
Makes it 3rd down and 12 yards to go.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Check. Pilot, 64, weak. Go.
A final shot before break. Lawrence. And the throw there going to be incomplete. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the 2nd half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is a real... I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the 2nd half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
22 jet bomber, 22 jet bomber.
From the gun, Lawrence. And that is incomplete.
And we're into the 2nd half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. This is fielded inside the 5. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Hey, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. Again, it's Elliott. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll try and run for it with Elliott. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th. When this offense gathers to watch the tape, they're going to like a lot of what they saw. They put up big numbers, but they might fast forward through that last play.
Oh, there won't be any fast forwarding, partner. I've sat in those sessions before. You end up spending more time on the bad plays than you do on the good ones. It's just the nature of coaches. But I know sitting in that room, when you've had a big game, the night that they've had, you don't want to hear that. You just want to focus on the good stuff.
Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
so
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves them with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Now they'll run on the draw, and they see right through that defensively, as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And just like that, it's 3rd down.
Ready, set.
55 to Mike. Check, 55 to Mike. Watch the curl. Watch the curl.
Hit it.
Back to throw. Lawrence. And he fires one that's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away.
At their own 25-yard line.
Let's go now.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Now a throw complete to his fullback out of the backfield. He'll be dropped after a game. Of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
It's a gain of 6. Makes it 3rd and 4.
They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. A 3-yard loss. 4th down now.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Cowboys. Officially, it'll be a 68-yard punt return score as his guys continue to pour it on.
Well, it certainly feels like that kind of game, doesn't it? No matter what they do, it's going to work. That might be the absolute crusher right there. A punt return for a touchdown.
Feels like there's been a lot of crushers in this game. This lead just gets bigger. Zerline connects on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
On the ready.
Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Ready, ready.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10.
Hey, me and you on deck.
Go.
Now a give, right side. Dobbins. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. Welcome back to the desert. We're in Glendale. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Running jet sweep here, Humphreys. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, he's looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it. So those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Ricky.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Lawrence. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Now, after the punt on that play, we've got a man down on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Here comes the Cardinals punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2000 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, Just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
And he's going to get this deep onto Arizona's side of the field. A big run that time by Elliott. 49 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. Just one. This will be 3rd and 5.
4 down, 4 down, 4 down.
On 3rd down, it's Pollard. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down. Zerline's kick is up and through. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Get that quarterback at all costs.
A first throw for the backup, Rosen. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Leighton Vander Esch. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. That's now a 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. A first down carry by Elliott. And some room to roam now. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he's able to get this inside the 10 now to the 9. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. Draw play. Elliott. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break.
Going to 53.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. Looking at this now, you got a couple more cracks here. This close, sneak it.
I don't think you even go into a huddle. Just line up, snap it, and fall in behind those guys into the end zone.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Throwing here, Prescott. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. Now Zerline on to add the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that. Coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Second and 11. Rolling to his right. And the ball is knocked out, and the Cowboys have recovered. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll go with Pollard here on 1st down. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Cowboys, it's a dream start. 2 wins in 2 early road games. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Cardinals, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.